So price has entered this nice monthly demand zone and it hasn't pierced the bottom yet. So we know that, it's still valid. However, we came right down here to this fractal and we just didn't touch it. So it would have been nice to see price just kind of clip this level and fail to close. That would have been a strong bullish sign for a continuation of the monthly kind of upward movement. I can't really say trend because we've only got one, real secondary high yet. So this would have been the beginning of that nice trend if we just clip that money there, showing you, prices failing to close below this level. There's a lot of buyers and demand down here, and then we can expect price to start rising up over time. However, because we've come so close, I'm just a little bit hesitant to really, pull the trigger on that one. But let's have a deeper look and to see what else we have. So moving down to the weekly, what we have here is, prices been on a nice steady downtrend. We've got our first high, then our second down here, and then our third, and then we've just come breaking down all of these lows right there. And now we've got our final, low within this demand zone, and price closing below this would be very detrimental for the bulls. But as we are in a demand zone on the higher time frames as well, we just have to go with what we see there. So looking at this, we have closed below the market structure as well. So I'm just going to bring that down there. And the top fractal is still high. So this is our kind of new bearish structure. It's quite a big price gap in terms of what we're seeing on this time frame for price to rally up to see if it's going to break this. I don't expect it to happen anytime soon. This could be, a real long-term thing. I'm talking like a couple of years, but you know, with cryptocurrency, you never know. Things can just go hyperbolic in a minute. But keeping realistic and being patient, I'm seeing, this is the zone what we have to work with. Did clip this money on a weekly, so that is a good sign. However, when I dropped down to the 4 hourly, I didn't really see any kind of good entries for me, but I will go into that later on in this video. Cool. All right, so similar situation here, and we're still in this daily bearish market structure marked out by these purple lines here, and we're just below the EMAs, so nothing too bullish on the daily setup as of yet. Though if you were looking last week, you would have got this nice bullish kind of signal where we got a fail close at that weekly fractal, and on an hourly price rallied up. Me and a few of the other guys missed this one, mainly because the price just didn't come back to our zone. But as I said, I'll go into that later on in this video. So what we have right here is, just price cooling down, kind of going sideways, not really making any new highs, looking like it's struggling to make a new low. We're going to see if, price can close through or above this EMA level here. This is kind of a first, level to get past. And then we want to see price close above the 130 level. Ideally, I want to see this taken out, this level right here, would be that kind of a great sign for the bulls to really show that we're taking over. Price can come up and then come back down, create a new higher low, and then continue on. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. What we have here, is price below this level, so it's still very bearish. No action for me as of yet. We've taken out these lows and we've not had any failed closes below this level. We just kept actually closing below them. So that's a sign that price still may drop down within the next coming days or so. But let me move on to that hourly section actually. So this is where I was talking about when I said that price failed to come back to our zone. So right here, this is our fractal low. So if I move on to the daily, just so you quickly see that for what that is for the guys that don't know. So here's our failed swing low created right here. That's the beginning of this journey. And then if we move down to the hourly time frame, if you see my video on the best trading method, then you'll know this is the method I trade. And right here we've got that wick coming up, and then price closes right above this previous high, which creates our zone for us. This is also the market structure for the hourly at that specific time. And then once this happens, we want to see price come back into this area, pick up the buy orders, and that's where we kind of tag along with the market makers and then ride that wave up. However, we just exploded out of that zone, didn't come back at all. So for me, this is just one of those ones where you just gotta leave it and just wait for the next one to come by your side. So the next one for me would be on the weekly. So here we've got that failed swing low, and then we've got a 4-hour time frame to mark our structure on. Although we have broken this level here, I just don't like the setup. So that's another reason we're not taking this one. So I'm waiting to see if price can go a little bit higher, break above these levels. But this would be, another similar setup. You can see prices broken out of this zone, cleared it, come back in. Normally I would be looking for something like entries around this point, or maybe if we got some in, no, we don't have any in, not indecision, we don't have any inefficiencies down here to be taken. So I would just kind of look at taking a whole zone, quite a big zone. But again, it's just going to be a 1-to-1 ratio in the short term. If you were, a bit patient, or, hopeful, and just waited for price to swim on the hourly till you got to like a oversold moment, then you could have taken your entries around here, this level here where we got oversold for the first time, or maybe around here. So that will give you a slightly smaller stop. But again, that's not a great risk, but as in terms of risk reward ratio, but a risk in terms of price doesn't always do that. It just comes in sometimes and shoots out. Sometimes hoping for a discount, like a deeper discount, doesn't always come. But again, this would be something that I know some people, if they're watching on the hourly by hourly basis, they would have got in on that, and that would be their kind of targets to look forward to. So this will be kind of my longer term play, mainly on that month. I want to see this month close. We've got like one more day. I want to see price close at least with a nice little bit of a wick. It would have been better if we got down here, but again, this is a sign that in the next coming days or weeks I'll probably be able to get something going on. They'll swing low, maybe around these levels. I'll be looking for down here at the bottom. Just mark those out. So seeing if price can come back to these levels, clip that money, and then give me another entry higher up. So it's a little bit higher than the 60 cent range, but again, it's something good. So that is what I have for you on Decentraland. Manna, if you like what you're seeing, what you're hearing, like and subscribe.